Hello my friends, another harvest season is upon us. The lush green vegetable fields and fruit-laden orchards signal that a year of hard work is about to pay off. In today's video, let's explore how farmers harvest various fruits and vegetables. Pears are a fruit loved by many, thanks to their delicious flavour. In late summer, when the pears begin to ripen, farmers start the harvesting process. They gently handpick each pear, being careful to not bruise the delicate fruit skin. After picking, farmers place the pears into baskets worn around their bodies. When a basket is full, the picker empties the pears into a central collection bin. Today, many farms have adopted conveyor belt systems for harvesting. After picking a pear, farmers simply place it directly onto a conveyor belt positioned between the rows of trees. This system automatically transports the pears to collection bins, saving labour time. They carry baskets, skillfully pluck clusters of ripe crimson cherries. Despite the intense sun, they work continuously to keep up with the harvest schedule. To reduce labour costs, many orchard owners today choose to use tree shakers to harvest cherries. A mechanical arm clamps onto the tree trunk, then shakes it vigorously for a short period, causing the cherries to fall simultaneously. The fruit then slides to the bottom of a tarp, where it's collected and moved onto a conveyor system. The conveyor then fills the collection bins with cherries. Oranges are also produced in large quantities in the US. California alone produced 45.8 million barrels of oranges in 2024. Orange harvesting is primarily done by hand. When the fruit is ripe, pickers simply gently twist and pull it off the stem. Some use homemade tools with a plastic bottle attached to the end of a pole, featuring serrated grooves to hold and cut the stem. Neatly cutting layers of grass close to the ground. The cut grass is then directly left in the field, spread in long strips and dried under the sun for a few days. When the grass has reached the desired dryness, a baler is put into operation. The machine slowly rolls across the field, drawing in layers of grass and compressing them into neat rectangular bales. Once complete, the hay bales are loaded onto trucks and transported back to the farm. Next, let's see how farmers harvest parsley. Farmers typically use a small, sharp knife to cut it close to the root, before tying it into bunches. Parsley harvesting is sometimes done at night to avoid the harsh daytime sun. This can help the herbs to stay fresher for longer. Workers are paid by piece rate, averaging about $1.90 per crate, which contains 60 to 65 bunches. The zucchini is immediately placed onto a conveyor belt attached to a machine that moves across the field. The conveyor gently carries the fruits onto collection bins. In some modern farms, harvesting machines are used to support. The machine slowly moves around the zucchini rows, with rows of seats above for farmers to work. Each person after harvesting places the fruit into a plastic tray in front of them. This method not only eases the farmer's burden, but also increases harvesting productivity. Our next destination is the tomato farms in California. Farmers here have produced over 11.97 million tons of fresh tomatoes. On many farms, tomato harvesting is still done by hand. Workers walk along each row of plants, picking individual tomatoes and placing them into plastic buckets. Manual picking allows for careful selection of standard quality fruits and helps to maintain their beautiful shape. On an industrial scale, tomato harvesting machines are preferred. The machine's front end. These modern harvesting machines can process hundreds of acres of corn per day. The total US production in 2025 is estimated to reach approximately 401.8 million tons. Pistachios are another agricultural product often harvested by machine. Farmers typically use tree shakers. The machine's robotic arm approaches and clamps firmly onto the tree trunk, then shakes it vigorously for a few seconds to dislodge all the ripe nuts. Below, large tarps are already open to catch the falling nuts. The pistachios then slide into a conveyor system and are transported to large collection bins. Without these modern tree shakers, American farmers would spend a tremendous amount of time and effort harvesting all 554,000 acres of pistachios across the country. Our next destination is a pumpkin field in Illinois. Farmers use shears to cut the stem of each pumpkin and carefully lift it to avoid scratching its thick skin. This job requires harvesters to be physically strong because pumpkins can be very heavy. Olives. A tree shaker embraces the olive tree and uses a vibrating mechanism along the trunk to shake the fruit down. A system of tarps below catches the olives as they fall. Immediately after, the olives are sorted inside the machine. Here, pieces of leaves, small branches, and dirt are removed. Clean olives are transferred to large collection bins ready for transportation. Leaving the US, we'll now explore the fruit-laden dragon fruit orchards in Vietnam. This country is the largest exporter of dragon fruit in the world. Farmers here usually harvest dragon fruit in the early morning or late afternoon. This avoids any direct harsh sunlight which can quickly dehydrate the fruit. They carefully use scissors to pick each dragon fruit. After picking, each fruit is carefully placed into a collection basket. But with the sound of harvesting machines in the fields and the sight of farmers gathering dew-kissed bundles of vegetables. In today's video, let's follow American farmers and see how they harvest their produce. Pomegranates are a favourite fruit for many. To harvest pomegranates, farmers usually pick each fruit by hand, then place them into baskets hung in front of their chests. One farmer can harvest around 45 to 50 pomegranates per hour. Some modern farms use mobile conveyor belt systems. Farmers simply pick and place the pomegranates onto the moving conveyor belt running towards the rows of trees. After being placed onto the conveyor belt, the pomegranates pass through a large, soft bristled brush to clean off any dirt. This brush also guides the pomegranates to gently fall into the correct position, preventing bruising. Thanks to the conveyor belt system, the farmer's working speed is significantly increased. From the plants, the plump peanut kernels are then poured into collection bins, ready for processing. If you're a coffee lover, you're probably familiar with this bean. To obtain the highest quality coffee beans, farmers carefully handpick each cherry. Sometimes they strip entire clusters of ripe cherries from the branches. Meanwhile, large farm owners often use tree shakers. These machines typically embrace the coffee tree trunk and shake it vigorously with rotating shafts equipped with soft plastic teeth. The ripe coffee cherries that fall off are collected into a container nearby. While machines cannot distinguish between ripe and unripe cherries like hand-picking can, they can harvest many acres of coffee in just a few hours, many times faster than humans. Unlike many other fruit trees, tangerines cling very tightly to their branches, so tree shakers cannot be used for harvesting. These plants are then fed into a cutting machine, equipped with rotating blades. As the stalk passes through, the machine separates the sprouts from the stalk, with steady and precise rotation. The round, separated sprouts then fall onto a conveyor belt. Here, workers inspect each sprout, removing any that don't meet quality standards. Only the freshest sprouts are sent to the processing plant. Our next product is cantaloupes. In the field, workers bend over rows, manually checking the firmness of each cantaloupe. Ripe melons easily detach from the vine with a gentle twist. After picking, they gently place the cantaloupes onto a moving table with a mobile harvesting rig. On the table, other workers are ready to re-inspect the quality and sort the cantaloupes by size. Each packed crate is clearly labelled, ready for market. This is how over 11 Our next destination is a kiwi orchard in California. In the orchard, farmers stand under the trellis, gently twisting the stem to pick each ripe kiwi. They carry a basket strapped to their chest and drop the picked kiwis directly into it. Afterwards, they fill the containers with kiwis, ready to be sold. Today's modern technology has begun to appear in kiwi orchards. Harvesting robots mimicking human hand movements identify the ripe fruit and pick them precisely. While these robots significantly increase productivity, their high cost means that they are not yet widely adopted. Now let's see how farmers harvest chili peppers. Previously, farmers had to bend over for hours to pick each pepper from dense bushes. They would then carry heavy baskets of green peppers for hours all over the field. Thanks to the development of machinery, harvesting chili peppers is now much less strenuous. This machine is an example. It has helical augers that act like mechanical fingers, reaching deep into the bush and gently pulling. This involves coordinating two tractors with over 150 horsepower. One cutting head quickly severs the base of the plant. Then the cabbage is transferred onto a conveyor belt. Workers stand on either side to simply inspect and arrange the cabbage. The conveyor belt then carries it into large baskets directly on the machine. Next, let's talk about grapes. On average, each American consumes around 8 pounds of fresh grapes per year, and 98% of grape production comes from California. For large fields, tree shakers are often used for faster harvesting. The machine moves along the rows, creating just enough vibrations to make the grapes fall into collection trays. Then the operator fills containers with the grapes. However, to ensure optimal quality, many places still prioritize manual harvesting. Farmers use sharp shears to cut each grape cluster. They work very quickly to avoid bruising the fruit. Freshly picked grapes can be eaten immediately, or processed into grape juice or fermented into wine. Another famous product from California is spinach. Inside the machine, a powerful threshing system separates the soybean seeds from the stalks and pods. After being separated, the soybean seeds fall into a large collection bin mounted on the top of the machine. Meanwhile, the processed stalks and pods are blown out the back. All of this happens in a matter of seconds, many times faster than manual harvesting. Today, even small farms use machines to harvest potatoes. With small machines, the plough blades dig deep into the soil, lifting the potatoes along with the soil and plants. The potatoes are then screened through a vibrating mesh and left on the ground. Farmers then pick up the potatoes and put them into harvesting baskets. On a larger scale, modern harvesting machines integrate multiple functions. The digging blades at the front lift the potatoes, then transfer them via vibrating conveyors to clean off soil and debris. The cleaned potatoes are then transferred into large collection bins directly on the machine. When full, the potatoes are directly unloaded into trucks to be taken to the processing plant. Such hand or use a knife to gently cut the stem as close to the branch as possible, being careful to not bruise the fruit. Afterwards, the lychees are gathered into bundles weighing around 2 to 6 pounds and stored in a cool, shaded and well-ventilated area. Our next product is the prickly pear cactus. This plant is a vital part of Mexico's agriculture, with over 7.4 million acres under cultivation. The appropriate time to harvest prickly pears is in late summer. Farmers usually use tongs or a knife to cut the fruit, while wearing thick gloves or wrapping multiple layers of cloth around their hands to avoid getting pricked by thorns. At this point, a gentle twist and turn will cause a ripe fruit to easily detach from its pad. Immediately after picking, the fruit is washed to remove the tiny thorns on the skin. Depending on its intended use, it can be juiced for refreshing drinks or processed into jams, accompanying sauces or desserts. Pineapple is also a very valuable fruit. In 2024, the global pineapple market was valued at around 28.7 billion US dollars. When the base of the pineapple turns yellow-orange, it's the clearest sign that the fruit is ripe and ready for harvest. Farmers wear baskets on their backs. Nowadays, to reduce the risks of climbing, many supportive devices have been invented. Some devices allow harvesters to sit securely on a seat attached to a pole, using their feet to push the device gradually upward along the tree trunk. For shorter coconut trees, farmers use long poles with curved blades or hooks to reach up and skillfully cut the fruit stems. The fallen coconuts are then gathered into piles and sorted by ripeness of processing into various products such as dried coconut meat, coconut water, or coconut oil. Next, we continue to Hokkaido, Japan, famous for its densuki black watermelons. Each season, farmers harvest no more than 100 fruits, making densuki watermelons incredibly valuable. When it's time to harvest, growers must use scissors to cut the stem of each fruit, being absolutely careful to not pull hard to avoid scratching the fruit. Afterwards, the watermelons are wiped clean, their surface inspected and stored in a dry, cooling. These pinas are then transported to the distillery, ready for liquor distillation. Meanwhile, the rest of the plant, such as the leaves, is discarded or used as compost to replenish the soil. This versatile plant yields a value of $82.3 US per 247 acres. Next, let's explore how farmers harvest one of the fruits dubbed the tropical queen, mangosteen. Mangosteens usually ripen and are harvested from about April to July each year. Harvesters typically use long poles with soft cloth bags attached underneath. When raising the pole, they skillfully hook the fruit and gently detach it from the branch, allowing it to fall neatly into the bag. Mangosteens on lower branches can be picked directly by hand. After picking, farmers collect the ripe fruit into baskets. They are then sold at markets or to traders. Our neck blades or hooks to gently pull them down. After harvesting, longans are gathered into small piles at the base of the tree or on trailers, ready for consumption. In some places, the farmers will separate individual longans from the clusters before selling them. Our next product is cherries. In the US, which leads the world in cherry production with over 156,000 tons annually, farmers use two main methods of harvesting. With the traditional method, each cherry is carefully hand-picked, helping to keep the stem intact and prevent bruising. The cherries are then placed into baskets worn on the farmer's chest. As the cultivation scales up, many farms have transitioned to using tree shakers. A mechanical arm is controlled to gently clamp onto the tree trunk, then vibrating steadily, causing the ripened fruit to fall onto a top below. Afterwards, an automatic conveyance system transports the cherries directly into collection bins. The entire process takes only a few minutes per tree for 20% of the world's production. Dates grow in clusters at the top of tall trees and have a distinctive yellow-brown colour. Previously, farmers had to use ropes to climb and pick the dates. This was very dangerous. Nowadays, they use automated lifts to access the treetops more safely. Once at the top, they gently inspect each cluster, cutting those that are ripe enough with a sharp knife while leaving unripe clusters to be harvested later. After picking, dates are lowered in hanging baskets and then sorted by ripeness and size. Afterwards, farmers pack the dates into boxes for sale. The next location I want to introduce to you is palm oil plantation in Indonesia, leaving about 1.2 to 1.6 inches for easier storage. Since durian fruits are heavy and have sharp spines, someone needs to stand below to catch them during harvest, preventing them from falling freely and getting damaged. Our final destination is the red mango orchards in Japan. The colour of the red mango is a vibrant blend of red and pink on the outside and golden juicy flesh inside. What's special is that the mangoes are not handpicked like typical fruits. Farmers allow the fruit to ripen naturally, and when the mango reaches perfect ripeness, it falls on its own, but is caught below by a waiting net bag. After this, these mangoes are harvested by farmers and packaged to be shipped to you. Only mangoes with a heavy sugar content above 15 degrees and weighing over 0.77 pounds are sold to the market. Therefore, red mangoes are often. Our next destination is the plum orchards in California. This state accounts for approximately 90% of the total plum production in the US. Plum harvesting in California typically begins in the early morning and lasts until late at night. Farmers use their bare hands to pick each ripe plum and carefully place it into a basket. They work diligently for many hours, so much so that the natural white bloom covering the plum's skin clings to their hands. After harvesting, the heavy basket of plums are emptied into collection bins in the orchard, ready to be sold to traders. California accounts for almost 91% of the US strawberry production. The strawberry harvesting season here begins in early spring and extends to late summer. Farmers move between rows, carefully picking each ripe strawberry. The strawberries are gently placed into the small plastic containers on a cart. The small strawberry containers are then packed into boxes right on the field, ready for distribution. To help farmers harvest strawberries faster, some farms have introduced modern support machines. The strawberry harvesting machine includes a bed and wheels, allowing pickers to lie down and harvest the fruit. Meanwhile, the machine slowly moves around the field, carrying them through to the strawberry rows. In some modern farms, mobile conveyor belt systems are deployed directly in the field. Pickers simply place the bell peppers onto the conveyor, and then the system carries them to larger collection bins at the end of the row. California and Florida are the two states that grow the most bell peppers in the US, accounting for around 70% of the total national production. Our next stop is the bountiful raspberry fields in California. Many farms still maintain the traditional method of hand picking, where each raspberry is carefully picked and placed into small baskets, avoiding damage to its delicate skin. Harvesting usually takes place in the early morning or cool afternoon to keep the fruit fresh for longer. In large-scale growing areas, farmers use tree shakers. The machine moves along the rows of trees, using a shaking mechanism to make the fruit fall onto the conveyor belt below. The raspberries are then sorted and transferred into collection bins. Unlike raspberry, the stems of each large, round watermelon. Afterwards, they pass the watermelon to each other and then load them onto a truck, where someone stands in the bed to catch them and neatly arrange them. In recent years, an increasing number of farms have started using mobile conveyor belt systems. Pickers simply place the watermelons onto the conveyor, allowing them to automatically move onto the truck. This helps save labour and reduces damage. Our next destination is Michigan. Over 100 farming families in this state produce approximately 20 million pounds of asparagus each year. Many families still choose to harvest by hand. Farmers use specialised knives to cut each asparagus spear right at ground level. Then they gather the harvested asparagus into bundles and prepare them for packaging. Some more modern farms use semi-automatic support machines. These machines move slowly along the rows, However, on many small farms, farmers still harvest manually. They bend down and gently pick each cucumber by hand to avoid breaking the vines or bruising the fruit. After harvesting, the cucumbers are poured into water tanks to clean and cool them. This helps to maintain their crispness and freshness longer. The vineyards in California enter the harvesting season with the sound of clippers snipping in the early sun. Farmers use sharp shears to cut entire grape bunches, their hands moving quickly. Each bunch of grapes is gently placed into a basket and then poured into large bins in the middle of the vineyard. Unlike humans, tree shakers can operate day and night. But due to their high cost, these machines are only typically used on large farms. With enormous production. Unlike corn, eggplants are usually harvested manually. Harvesters use scissors or a knife to cut the stem, avoiding bruising or scratching the fruit's skin. Each harvested fruit is gently placed onto a trolley. In some large farms, packaging conveyor belts are even installed directly in the fields. Farmers pick and place eggplants on the conveyor, after which workers inspect, sort, and quickly pack the eggplants into cardboard boxes. In the US, New Jersey is the largest eggplant producer, with a yield of over 26 million pounds per year. Next, let's go to Washington, where the value of onion production reached around $477 million. In late summer, onion harvesting machines. Thanks to modern machinery, tons of onions can be harvested in just a few hours, saving labour and ensuring high productivity. Zucchini, on the other hand, is a vegetable that is often harvested by hand. Farmers gently use a knife or scissors to cut each zucchini. Then, the freshly picked zucchinis are placed onto a mobile conveyor belt set up right in the field. The conveyor belt slowly transports the zucchini into the sorting and packaging area. Here, workers carefully inspect them before removing any bruised or overly mature fruits, before arranging the standard zucchinis into bins. And that's how farmers in various states harvest fruits and vegetables. If you found this video interesting, please leave a like, comment, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content from us. Goodbye and see you in the next video.